Over the last 10 years, I've been using a to-do list app, but I used it wrong for a lot of that period of time. And today I want to share 6 tips I've picked up along the way that could possibly help you in using and managing your tasks. These are all things that you can use, whatever tool you use, and ones that will help you to cherry pick what works best for you, because not all of these will work best for you, but ones that have definitely helped me along the journey. This video today is sponsored by Bento Focus. It's an app that we've created for iOS to help you focus in on your tasks. You can check out the link in the description for a less stimulating way to get work done. So the first on my list is a concept called checklist over due dates. And I don't know about you, but I was doing this thing where you basically add in everything with a due date. I don't know where I learned this from, but it's an awful thing looking back at it now. So what I would do is I'd pick a task and I'd essentially add a due date to it straight away. So I'd have like 3 days or 4 days in a row with loads of different tasks on my list. And when I stopped actually doing this, it really helped. So what I now do is I have a checklist area inside of my account where I can then basically see a checklist based on a certain thing. So for example, activities at the weekend, things I need to buy for the house, or maybe even work priorities, personal priorities, and those types of things. Now what I then do is it's like a menu. I go in and then I pick what I need to do for the day, and then I can focus on it. Whereas before I was just constantly adding a due date for it every single time, which is really not the right approach to do unless it's something hyper specific, like pick this up at 2 p.m, that type of thing. Everything else can logically be organized as you go. Never try and plan more than 3 things ahead, because it will really make it more detrimental, at least in my opinion. So the second thing is something that I've more recently carved down. So when I do a certain task, I am really prone to doing, say, a 30-minute task and then doing these micro tasks throughout that. So like checking my inbox for a certain thing, replying to an email, or maybe even trying to order something on Amazon that was on my list to order. Small things that I'm like, okay, while this screen's loading or while I'm switching tabs, I'll do it quickly. And it's horrendous when you're in it, because you end up either getting distracted by another task or you just end up, not doing that task to the quality it should be at. And once I stopped doing this, after only a couple of weeks ago now, I chatted with Nir Eyal and I started reading his book Indistractable. The concept of just really mono-focusing on the task in a much better way. It really stopped and improved the quality of work that I was actually doing. And it's something that, you don't see it, but when you look back, you're like, I'm just doing 3 or 4 things here and I'm trying to juggle it. But you don't look at it like that at the time because you're doing these micro tasks. But it really improved my focus when I did. So that really helped my task management. So number 3 is focusing on quality, not quantity. This, I think, is going to be much more prevalent in the world of AI, because AI is going to start doing these smaller research, admin-based items for us with agents. And we're going to be doing more human-based stuff, which requires us to have more focus, more attention, and more energy as well. So quality, what I mean by that is instead of doing 20 tasks a day, that doesn't necessarily produce output. Do 3 or 5. That's probably optimal. And you actually doing that will produce a better result in the meantime. The reason why I say that is because it's a higher bar to do fewer tasks that are higher impact than doing loads of small stuff. For example, say you equate 0.1 to each of the smaller tasks and you equate 0.5 to the fewer ones. You're going to get to 1 a lot faster than you are with fewer tasks. So 3 to 5 tasks a day is really the optimal amount of what to do in your day, and they can be batched, but at least getting those done in that period of time will help you to improve your focus. And it also improves the criteria to getting that done. Make those better and stronger as you go on. So the next one is a less review. Now, every Thursday, I grab a carrot cake from the coffee shop or a Victoria sponge cake, depending on what day it is and what they got in stock. And one thing I love to do is just reflect on my week. It only takes me 20 minutes, but I like it. It's an activity that just goes, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? I used to do it in the past with Toggle Track, which is an app that helps you to time track. And essentially all I was doing was basically like reviewing where I'd spend my time in the week and saying, okay, how do I improve it for next week? It's a small activity, but it can have a big effect. So this one's sort of called a less review, where I look at all the stuff I'm doing and I'm like, what didn't make an impact? scrap that off, or at least communicate with somebody about why that isn't working and try to improve that. If it's consistency thing, that's fine, but it's more like the concept of what am I doing that I can refine down to the lesser or the higher impact, but less amount of it totally. So that has definitely helped me. It's only 15-20 minutes a week, and you can pair it with something you really like that carrot cake or that Victoria sponge. Absolutely, I love that Victoria sponge cake. So next one is one called the energy graph, and I quite like this idea because it's one that I never thought I would be thinking about a lot. So basically the concept of energy graph is you draw out where your energy peaks are and troughs are in a day, and you map out your most important work for it. So for example, between 9 and 11 a.m, I have the most energy. So I'm going to try and do my recording during that time to get that done, because it does require high energy. Whereas if I know that I drop at about 11, 12, I'm gonna go on a walk and maybe do my calls, low impact, or maybe even just have lunch, that sort of stuff. So I'm timing this, and then I have another peak in the afternoon. Now, each day you may have different energy levels depending on your schedule. For example, if you do the kid routine 4 days a week, 3 days a week, or every day a week, that might fluctuate. I don't know, you don't do pickup, things like that, whatever it is, or whether you just have a different schedule based on things that occur. It's important just to have a general outline, and the way you do that is just by drawing where you believe your energy levels are across the day, and you can just map that at the end of the day and see what it looked like for you. Some people might be later, other people's might be earlier, but then you can plan your day around it more effectively. We're in a much more work flexible environment, so this can really, really help once you draw that graph and start working out for you. Now, the final one is one that is strange, but has helped me along the way. It's called active voice or self-talk. Now, sometimes when I'm in the office and I'm lacking focus, or I'm not doing something I should be doing, I don't know, just maybe I'm doing another task, I'm like, why am I here? Realize it, and I say it out loud to myself. It sounds a bit weird, and I just go, right, you're not meant to be doing this. And then I go, what's on your list that you're doing? And I'm talking in the present, I'm talking about myself at the same time, so I'm saying it aloud, and then I'm saying, right, the next thing I need to do is this, and describe it as you're doing it. And this weird self-talk that I do sometimes helps me just realign with what I'm doing. Like, sometimes you can just talk aloud. It's almost like narrating yourself to some extent, but in the first person, where you then just go, okay, I'm back on task, and it really just helps. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it really does help me with my task management. So those are my 6 recommendations. I'm going to put them in link in the description, and so you can just like peek at them again if you're interested. But again, just as a summary, these are things that are just cherry picked from the way that I've been doing things. And sometimes you notice when you're gonna improve it. So you may have some of these, merge them in with the things you do already that you like, and then just adapt it, and it will continue to improve. With the future of AI, everything's gonna be about human focused tasks and quality orientated stuff. So being able to improve on your quality of focus, your tasks, your energy levels with your tasks is going to be a much needed skill. Hence why we've gone ahead and created Bento Focus as a newly designed experience. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for stopping by. Hopefully it was helpful, and I gave some of my gems to you of what is good task management. So I will see you in a future video, I'm sure. Cheerio for now.